Hi YouTube, Tsuki here with some more Warpforge for you. So, today we're in the middle of a transition period. We just finished our season, and we haven't had the latest patch yet to see what the new changes will be. So we're kind of in a downtime period here. So I thought I would do content that I didn't have time for before, but I really wanted to do. So this is gonna be, as the title says, a beginner's guide or starter's guide to Warpforge. So when we like play Warpforge, we probably have like a favorite faction already, because we're coming from the tabletop or we're coming from novels or something. When I first started, I really wanted to play Tau because I was playing Tau in the tabletop. So that's what I played. So the purpose of this guide is not really to give you the deck in your desired faction. My purpose in this guide is for you to build a deck for you in what I consider is to be one of the easiest factions to play with, so that you can use that deck to farm others. Okay, so you'll build that deck first for the first few days, and then you'll get then you can build the deck you want, you farming using that deck to farm the other cards. Now, how does progression work in this game? So, of course, you get progression by gaining cards. So, every 200 points, every 3, 10, 25, 25, 50, 100 wins, you'll get a uh 200 points for your campaign. And if I remember correctly, every 2 hours you get a quest, and in that quest, or every, is it 4 hours now? Every 2 to 4 hours you get a quest, and every quest gets you in between 200 to 400 points. So in one day, you'll probably get something like 10 quests, and you'll probably get something between let's say an average of 900, 1,800, something like 2,000 points between the 10 quests. Let's say you only get 200 points per quest. And then using this track, you can get another 1,000 points. But for the purpose of this guide, we'll just assume you only play until 25 skulls. So that should be around playing skirmish. That should be around maybe 1 hour of games, maybe less. Then let's assume that you log in once at night, once in morning. So you finish like maybe 6 quests each. So you get that 2,000 points. So let's assume conservatively you get something between 2,500 to 3,000 points per day. That's to spend on the campaign. Then you get the cards from the campaign, and you also get cards from duplicates from Forge. And then you make your deck. So initially, you make your deck in skirmish. Then hopefully you get to legendary. Because legendary gives you 3,000 crystals a month, as well as a lot of other freebies. And then when you have the core of your deck ready, you proceed to classic. And then hopefully you get to legendary as well. And then the next step is you work your way up the ranks. Maybe you get top 100, top 50, or maybe you just play to the rank that you desire. And the next step after that is, if you really like the game, you can actually join our Discord server. The link to the Discord server is of course on the Evergrande website. And on that Discord server, there's a PvP lobby where you can actually join another server for tournaments. And if you like the game a lot and you have lots of cards already, you can join tournaments and try competitive play. So, but all that's in the future. So, when you first start the game, you'll be given a few quests, and I think you'll be asked to choose between 4 factions. It doesn't matter what you choose whatever you want. You're not going to be using that faction anyway. So, the first faction that we're going to use is the Imperial Guard. So, it was a toss-up between Imperial Guard and Sisters for the easiest faction to use. However, Sisters has Faith and all that other stuff that you need to get used to, while Guard has simpler mechanics. So, you'll be getting a lot of quests at the start of the game through the missions tab. The first 100 points you get, unlock Guard, and get Deckler. So this will be your deck. So I've already created that deck here. Alright. Now, oh. I think I might have missed something. 1 minute. Artillery Strike, Charter for Sergeant, 20 core. Basilisk. I didn't get the Basilisk. 1 minute. Okay. So I recreated that deck here. Now, what resources are we going to use to build your deck? So we're going to go through the campaign. However, we won't go through all the paths. Over time, you'll pretty much finish all the paths. But for the purposes of your experience, we'll just assume you go through one path all the way up till the end, and then we'll use those cards to build your deck, and we'll use the Forge as well to build your deck. Honestly, I think getting Forge level 10 is reasonable for a beginner. However, I'll assume that maybe you're just trying the game out first and stuff, so you're not really spending a lot of time on it. So I'll assume maybe Forge level 5 or 4. So first thing you do, you get Deckler. Then probably you'll get a few other quests that you can just continue by upgrading a card or whatever. So just get your packs and stuff. The first thing you'll get is a rare wild card. So the first thing we do with a rare wild card is craft something. So we go to our deck. And we craft a rare. So you can just go to filters, click rare, and then click unowned, so that you can see what you don't own. So the first thing we'll craft is Taurox Prime. This is actually one of the most powerful cards in Imperial Guard. So we'll do that, and we'll replace something that's equal to its cost. So we'll take out the Manticore. We'll put the Taurox Prime in. Now, there's a lot of random cards in these packs as well. So you may be getting good cards. So if you think there's a good card, just put it in the deck. Try it out. And just replace something equal to its cost. So let's say you got a random card. Let's say you got Tempestor Sergeant. You think it's good. So put it in, replace something that costs 3, and try it out. Just try not to replace the stuff that we put in already. Alright, so next, so you get one wild card. Next, you get another wild card. So your initial your first session, you should get up until this point, I guess. This one will, I think, cost like 200 to 300, 200 to 300 as well, 200 to 300 as well. Your initial quest should take you at least up until here. So we get another wild card. We craft something else. So of course we filter too, just to make it easier. Remember to always put unowned, because you might not own these cards yet. So we'll get another strong card, which is the Armored Lightning. So we'll take Taurox, replace it, Armored Lightning. Alright, now we get our first choice. We can either get the Flamer or the Psyker. Both are good. The Flamer is very good for Deckler. Psyker is very good with Deckler as well. Both provide you with 4 cards. Now, these are random cards. It says common here, but you can actually get epics and rares and legendaries from this. For the purposes of this deck, we'll take the Flamer. It's a low cost card, and we already crafted 2 medium cost cards. Alright, so Flamer. Oops, sorry. So we'll replace the Born Soldier, and then we'll put in the Flamer. So at this point, you should I'm reasonably confident you can clear the first quarter by day one. The first quarter is really cheap quests, um, and it's meant to give you a lot of cards right away, so you can have stuff to test out. And that's how a lot of card games work anyway, right? You get a lot of common and rares right away. So for the next quarter, our first choice is gonna be the Lehman Russ. It A lot of people would actually select the Lehman Russ tank, and that's okay too. But I find that the Lehman Russ Vanquisher is better for Declar, because it deals with armor, which Declar might have trouble dealing with, and it has duty, which Declar can reload. So we'll go ahead and replace one of these cards. We'll take out the Baneblade, and we'll take the Lehman Rush tank we just got, the Vanquisher. And there we go. Alright, so uh, uh, also the important part, the important thing I forgot about this part is that the Lehman Rush tank takes us onto the upper path. We actually want the lower path because the lower path gives us access to 3 common wildcards. So this is the next thing we're gonna go for, 3 common wildcards. So we filter common, unowned. So the first thing we want to get is 2 of these little servers. They actually do a lot of damage over time, and they work very well with armored lightning as they provide a vehicle for you. So we remove the shock trooper and thermal weaponry, and then we put the soldiers. Now we have a third wild card, and we'll just keep it in reserve for now. So by day 2, you should be at around here. And I'm confident that by day 2, you should be at around, you should be at least level 2 already in your Forge track. You get Forge by upgrading cards. So once you have cards that you have multiples of, like this one, like you have 2 already, you can pay to upgrade them using the Forge. You can pay crystals to do that. So Forge level 2 over here gives us an epic wildcard to play with. So the first thing we're gonna do in our deck is get one of the more essential epic wildcards for Declar, which is the Voxcaster. This gives all of our vehicles flank. So we remove that earlier strike, we get a Voxcaster. So by day 2, your deck should be looking like this. Alright, next, so by day 2, we should be at around here. So we're gonna go to the third what do you call this? Third quarter next. We're not gonna actually be using a lot of the cards in the third quarter. Um, for the sake of convenience, I guess we'll go to the top the top portion. Each of these, if I remember correctly, has around cost around 700 to 800 to 900 quest points. So it should take you 1 or 2 days to clear this entire quarter. So for this quarter, the only thing we'll pick up is the Regal Dorn. So we'll go back to our deck and add in the Regal Dorn. We'll replace the Basilisk. Then in the third quarter, each pack in the third quarter costs 1,000 points. So it will take you a couple of days to get through this. So at our rate of like 2 to 3,000 points per day, you'll probably get you'll probably get two nodes per day. So it will take you 1 day to clear this node or this quarter, probably another day or day and a half to clear this quarter, 2 days to clear this quarter. So that's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 days, and it will take you around 3 days to clear this quarter. So by the end of this you'll probably be playing around a week already. So of course you'll also be doing your daily drafts and all your other stuff. Now for this quarter, we'll go to the bottom route because we want our other box caster. So that's the first thing we're gonna pick up. We'll take out our Arcadian Standard Bearer and put in the box caster. Then, this route also gives us access to two rare wildcards. This one and this one. So, using that, we will take out the Bulgrin and put in the Torox Prime. Now we have a choice here. We can either take out a Lehman Russ tank, a Vanquisher, or a Regal Dorn for our second Armored Lightning. So you can take out whichever one you want, so that we can play multiple stuff. Or actually, Declan really likes the duty of the Vanquisher, but so we can play different stuff. We'll take out one Vanquisher, and we'll put in the Armored Lightning. And then by this time, you should have at around level 5 Forge. Our deck is pretty much complete already, so you'll get an extra rare and common and epic wildcard. But you don't need to use them. You'll get your first legendary wildcard on 10. Once you get to that, I recommend that you craft this person. Vitus, probably the best legendary in the game, and then just replace one of your flamers with it. Alright, so this will be our deck already for starters. You should be getting this deck maybe a week, less than a week. Honestly, the one that took us a long time to get was just the Vox Operator. The rest are just wildcards and stuff. So you can even get them earlier if you proceed with your Forge track. So maybe by day 4 or 5, your deck should look like this already. And I think this will have a good win rate. So we'll go ahead and try this deck in Legendary Division. So this would be where all the best decks are, and we'll see how it goes. So one thing about Skirmish is that games are really fast, so you can farm your skulls really fast. It used to be a chore to do 100 skulls a day, but honestly with Skirmish I think it's pretty doable.
Forward for the Imperium, for the Lion, for the Emperor.
So a lot of these are the basic Imperial Guard combos. We're just gonna flood the board, and then shoot our opponent down. It's not really hard to play. So we get this guy in the board. So next turn we do an Armored Lightning, and then we just keep flooding the board, and eventually we'll shoot him with these with the Vanquisher. Then if ever they flood the board themselves, we have our Flamer to kill them. Ooh. So the nice thing about Imperial Guard is that it doesn't matter how much armor they have. Your damage is so low that you're gonna be doing minimum damage anyway. So he could have 10 armor, but we're only doing 1 damage. So 1 damage is still gonna get through. It's like the last gun thing. So So, as you can see, it's really simple to play. I forgot to discuss our abilities, I'm sorry. I was too into the deck building. Well, we'll go back after this to discuss abilities. I forgot this was for new players. She might not understand like what I'm doing and everything. So, I'm not gonna discuss how to play the game, okay? I'm gonna assume that you know how to play the game. What I'm gonna discuss after this is like what abilities are with that are specific to the Imperial Guard.
So be it.
Okay. Now, Imperial Guard has two basic abilities. So, for the purposes of this deck, we have an ability called Duty. So, instead of taking an action, you can do your duty. Now, duty requires that you can actually do an action. So when you play a card, you cannot do an action yet, right? Because you don't have the ability. You don't have an action because you have to rest. The only way you can play an action is if you have flank. So when you play, you get to play an action right away. So that's the reason why this guy has flank, so that our vehicles can do their duty right away. Now, the second ability of Imperial Guard is called Regiment. So when you do a range attack, you get the ability for you get to trigger the ability. So this one says range attack give +1 range to all of your units. So let's say Declar takes a range attack, and the Regal Dorn is on the board. Then Regal Dorn gives everybody +1 range. However, let's say that the Regal Dorn does a range attack. He doesn't give +1 range to everybody because this says another friendly unit does a range attack. So his range attack doesn't count. Now our other important ability is flank. So we have flank with Declar, and we have flank with our box operator. So that lets our troops act on the turn that they come into play. Then Declar also has an ability that says give +2 health or reload a duty. Once your duty is used, you can't use it again, but Declar can reload it so you can use it again at the cost of your action. So if this guy deploys 2 Scions, his action is done, then next turn he can attack as normal. However, if Declar reloads his duty, he can then produce 2 more Scions, but his action is done. So as long as he has a duty, he can actually use it, but the duty is only usable once, unless you have a way to reload it. Alright, I think that's the basic explanations of Imperial Guard. So, range attack, melee attack, flying, I'm assuming you all know that by now, or the tutorial took care of that for you. I don't want to go into all of that because it's boring and tedious. Alright, so you kind of need to know a little bit about how other factions play to produce the best outcomes. But even if you don't know, it's fine to experiment and stuff. However, I know that Eldar is really aggressive, so you don't really want to attack when you're facing them. So I'll just put out some troops and we're done. Huh, interesting. Now remember, our duty is not an attack, so we don't particularly care about Vanguard. That's a smart decision.
Flamers to the front!
So remember, we can reload our duty so that we can produce more troops. So I'm also trying to build up a high health unit to account for Eldritch Storm. So normally flanking units
New orders in
cannot
from
attack
command!
warlords. So for example, this flanker, if we try to attack the warlord, it won't
Such
let us.
action is not allowed.
However, duty can get around that, so we can actually just shoot the warlord. Alright, we'll try a few more games. So remember also that your quests fill up. So when you have 2,000 points, you cannot redeem any more quests. So you have to make sure that your quests are redeemed, for campaign nodes, before 2,000 points are done. So once you're done with this node, once you're done with the campaign, you can either go back to take another path, and the rewards are always good anyway, or you can go to the final node and just keep spamming the last one to get more cards. Or like I said earlier, if you had a favorite faction, because remember you're just using this faction to form resources, you can then start it. So this would be at around 4 or 5 days in. Then you want to start, if let's say your real your real love is Tau, then you can start Tau and then use Imperial Guard to farm resources for Tau. All right, we'll play a few more games, and that should be that. You can actually see the deck that we're using right now. It doesn't have any legendaries, and it could be improved by legendaries, but it's already pretty good already.
We march forward
Lion Cub.
for the Imperium! Howl wolves! A red moon rises tonight.
So I'm not going to go into energy management for skirmish. I assume that was explained to you in the base game, in the tutorial rather. So you remember, you know that you can save energy, etc., etc. Oh. Alright, you got your kill.
The runes had not foretold.
Ooh, we got cleared everything. That's good. Yeah.
Ready for deployment.
Although I wonder if two flamers should have been better. Alright. Oh, he destroyed it too.
Do not test my patience, Cloud.
Alright, so we'll put in another one.
New orders in from command.
That's all we can really do. Just keep putting threats until he runs out of stuff.
Do not test my patience, Cloud.
Am I dead already?
You will not live to see our victory.
I am, okay. Alright, GG. Even if we were to put the taunt in the way, it wouldn't have mattered. Or maybe it would have. I don't know. Alright, that was a rough match, but we did our best. We got him down to around 10. That should be fine. We're not gonna win every match.
We march forward for the Imperium. Let's get some action, boys.
1 minute. I don't know why it's okay. I guess this one. This is so that if I have a Scion next turn, I can or Armored Lightning next turn, I can put it down.
Stop moving.
Ooh, this is very juicy as well. Oh, don't hit that. Hit the others.
Flamers to the front.
So remember, if you go wide, you have your flamer.
New orders in from command. Don't want to kill you just yet. Let's scrap again another day.
Alright, let's try again.
We march forward for the Imperium. If it is death you crave, who am I to deny it?
Ooh, a Tormentor.
Sea is your sweet reward.
We'll do the servo, and then we'll just punch the guy. Oh, I shot the wrong guy. Would have been great if he shot this one. I will take that. That's fine. I mean, I'm gonna be down to like really low, but at least he used it already. No ruination, please. Otherwise, we're dead already. Okay, that's fine.
Part of us. Of course.
Bleed for me.
We'll do another one, I guess. Alright, we need a Regal Dorn. Regal Dorn, please. Come on down. Regal Dorn. There we go. So remember, Regal Dorn gives +1 to everyone. So the damage can pile up really quickly. Alright, we'll do one last game, then we'll call it a day.
We march forward for the Imperium.
So sometimes you actually want to bait out your opponent's abilities by using your troops. So I'm gonna put out this guy here. He has an ability that gives him +1/+1, so he can kill it. But if he does that, then he's not doing anything else this game. That is turn rather. So sometimes you have to sacrifice some of your troops for that.
I will offer your blood to the Holy
Or not,
Emperor.
that's fine as well. Oh, don't kill yourself.
Velvetcraft has lent you
Oh,
strength.
he killed himself.
Ready for deployment.
I will not suffer you to live.
Let's stunt something.
I will never back down from the likes of you.
Oh, come on, let me live. We live? Do we live? We live! Alright, you can kill it now. So Regal Dorn is your finisher for most people, but otherwise you can still use the Vanquisher.
will be a mercy for the faithless ones.
Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed our tutorial slash deck building slash games for tonight. Remember, this deck is not about getting you the faction you want. It's about easing you into the game as much as possible, so you don't rage quit. I mean, like, let's say you really enjoy Tyranids. I have a lot of friends who play Tyranids. However, if you start this game and you're stuck with Tervigon, you might actually just rage quit. You don't you don't even get an epic card from him. How sad. Cause other factions kind of give you epic cards, at least one, like that one or this one. Tervigon doesn't even give you anything. So you know, if you're stuck with Tervigon, then you might actually just rage quit. So I'm not saying you can't play Tyranids. Just get a good deck first with guard. You know, something that will ease you into the game, and then use it to farm Tyranids so you can get all their great cards, and then you can build the deck using that instead of having to struggle with a trash deck in the beginning. So again, this is the easiest way for you to get into the game, get into the groove, and then collect your favorite faction from here. I hope this helps you. Please do comment if you don't think this method is good or whatever. Please do like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a good day.